Dallas Miller and his wife Lois own Country Elegance in Avon. In a Coastal Voices interview, Dallas talks about entertainment for young people on Hatteras Island in the 1950s and 60s. Did you play any sports in school?
The only sports we had at school was basketball. That was it.
No baseball?
No baseball. No nothing. And in basketball, we were not allowed to be in a conference because we had to take ferries. And the basketball court was not large enough. It wasn't a regulation-sized basketball court. I think that's what it was. And between the basketball court and the side of the building, you didn't have any room. It had one row of chairs around it. Because the basketball court was the auditorium.
Okay.
And so the only teams that we ever played was we played the Coast Guard and played the Navy. And that was about it. Now the villages, most of them had baseball teams. Yeah, I played on baseball here at Avon, and we would play the Navy and the Coast Guard mostly. Sometimes other villages, and sometimes we'd play among ourselves. But I can remember playing where when you turn at the stoplight, go into Avon, on the left-hand side, the little fish market that's there, there used to be a ball field.
Oh, it was?
Or we had it as our ball field. Had a backstop.
Okay.
We kept it cut. And but I can remember playing there. And I can remember playing, and my dad playing there at the same time. And I thought, I don't know how he's playing. He's 40-some years old. Yeah, we were the Blue Devils when I went through.
You were the Blue Devils.
Yeah, now
okay.
they're now the Hurricanes.
Right.
I was going through some things that my mom had packed away up in the attic, and I came across this little banner, maybe 6 or 8 inches, and it had Cape Hatteras Bulldogs, 1953. That was the year my brother graduated. So I'm guessing they were called the Bulldogs then.
But you were the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils, yeah.
Okay.
I still got my school coat. I didn't know it. My mom had it in the attic.
Did you have television here when you were growing up?
Yeah, we had it, and but you had to have an outside antenna, and you only got like 2 stations or 3 stations, that I recall. To get one station out of Norfolk, your antenna had to point one way. To get the station out of Washington, Little Washington, it had to point another way. To change the station, you had to go outside and turn your antenna and open a window and say, okay, a little bit more, a little bit, okay, that's good right there. And then they finally got little remotes, and you would turn that, and it would turn your antenna. We never had one. I remember my aunt had one. We just had the old pump pipe where we had a pipe wrench on it. Turned it with that pipe wrench until Dad says, that's good.
When you were in high school, where did you hang out?
Most of the time, Sonny's Restaurant in Hatteras. Okay, at that time it was Fraser Peel's restaurant.
Okay.
In the back of that was a section that had booths back there. That's where most of the teenagers would hang out.
Okay.
Before that, it was when I was growing up, it was in Avon. The shop that Lois has now, it was there. Andrew Meekins built that store. We just called it Andrew's Place. It had a jukebox, 3 wooden booths, and had a shuffleboard and a little open place in the middle for dancing. We used to always hang out there.
Did they sell sodas there?
Yeah.
Beer too?
No.
No.
It was dry.
Okay.
Yeah. No, just Pepsis, Cokes, stuff like that, a bar candy, bag of peanuts. That's about it. Right down the street was Pritchard's. And Pritchard's was a little pool hall.
Okay.
Had 1 pool table. When I first went in there, you had to have a note from your parents saying it was okay for you to shoot pool.
Okay.
Because some of the religions did not want you shooting pool. And I remember I had to take a note in there from my mom. So it was okay for me to shoot pool. If you played a game of 8-ball, it was a nickel. If you played a game of rotation, it was a dime. And that's all we played back then most of the time, was just those 2 games.
So those were the two hot spots.
Yeah, that's where we, yeah.
And when you got a little older for dating girls and
Then
all.
it was at Hatteras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a movie theater on the island back
Yeah,
then?
there was one at Hatteras.
Okay.
And we would go to that. It's right across from where the library is.
Okay.
It's
A.S. Austin.
Austin, right next to Austin. Austin's used to be a store.
Okay.
Was the movie theater. Tandy's Place, which is the quarterdeck restaurant now.
Okay.
That was the hot spot. That was the place when they finally got liquor back, you know, that you went and you bought your beer and you just went down there on Saturday nights to watch people fight.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was great.
Okay.